Alrighty, hello y'all. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of background noise that I have now for the just chatting area. It took me a good bit to actually find some stuff that I liked, and I ended up having to combine a couple of things, but I think it sounds nice. I'll probably do some listening back and meandering it um, as needed. But yeah, hello everyone. I I made a cute little Halloween PNG, especially for this game. I don't know if I'll do some different ones for future spooky games, but I just figured that since this was a ghost game, that I would do just, you know, a cute little bedsheet ghost. It took me forever to actually get this edited though, because I am not good at art or edits. So I ended up spending like a good hour on this little thing. But yeah, hello everyone. This is, oh god, this is my third stream. I hope that everyone is doing well on this wonderful September day. It's certainly been a day, the past 24 hours. If any of you guys have Twitter, it's been real interesting. But yes, I do genuinely hope that everyone's day is going well. Hello, Derry. Hello, everyone that I greeted earlier as well, and to all of the lovely lurkers. Yeah, I... Connie, you don't have to run for me. Fucking, if you don't run in gym class, you don't have to run for me. Don't worry about it. Oh man, I really do need to get better at my talking for these just chattings, but oh well, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Slowly but surely, some more things will be edited. But I'm liking the slow progress that I've been doing for Twitch. Today's actually been pretty good. I only had one class today, and then I did a good bit of cleaning, was able to try and relax, ended up helping out a couple of friends. But yeah, no, today rather uneventful, so that's a A+ for me. How about you, Chad? How has everyone's day been? I really hope that it's been mediocre at worst and great at best. But if your day has been poor, don't worry, because tomorrow is another one. And each day is a new opportunity for things to develop and for things to possibly get better. Doesn't mean they will, but doesn't mean they won't. Friday Eve, yes. Man, Jor, I could not imagine being like you right now. House hunting is absolutely horrendous. I'm wishing you the best of luck with that. Connie, honestly, like, it's called therapy, sweaty, look it up. Oh, Soapy, are you sure that's how you want to start your day? Yes, Jor, house hunting is definitely a tiring and horrendous task, so I do genuinely wish you the best. I'm luckily at a point where I don't need to worry about that quite yet, but that will be happening, I would say, within the next year, but that's for a future heart to worry about. Current heart is just vibing. Wait. Connie, what were you reading? Classical music themed romance reverse harem manga. Oh god. That reminds me of a there was this one magical girl anime, but everybody was a classical like a classical musician. I think the main characters were like Beethoven and Mozart. I can't remember. I only watched like the first 2 episodes of it, and I was so brain dead that I just dropped it. Classy 9. I have no idea what that is. Oh my god. Connie, just because you recommended it, I'm not gonna look into it. It's not that I don't trust your judgment. It's just, I think it could be better. Please look it up. Okay, okay, fine. I'll look it up at the very least. I'll humor you. What is this? Connie, I'm questioning your taste. Like, if you have any. It looks so bland. I'm sorry. Like, where is the flavor with this? This... Oh my god. I'm not gonna roast you. What's art bog? People like that. Okay. Hello, Gloom. Connie, good cry. Y'all, I should not be allowed in public. I think this is the reason that Kirio left me in the basement. Yeah, that's the real reason why. How I look right now. It's not because I have a bedsheet on, no. Nothing like that. Connie, no! Don't leave! Don't leave! Connie, no! Please! Please stay! Oh my god, it's day. Time to end stream. I really should not be allowed in public. Oh, but yeah, no. Day, you actually reminded me of what I was saying before Connie was so rude. Yeah, no, the real reason that I'm like this is because I have officially died. I know it's a very shocking revelation, but I am in fact dead. So if everybody could just like send me 45 cents for the funeral cost, then that would be fantastic. I'll be able to get like a Walmart bouquet. That'll be good enough, right? Because then people can do like one of those flower tosses at like weddings, but it's at a funeral, so the person who catches it dies next. You know, that's how it works, right? And if it's not, that's how it should be. I was actually kidding, Drawer. I don't want to get to affiliate because I don't want you guys to spend money on me, like, ever. Because I would feel awful. So yeah, no, don't. Connie, I do deserve a bouquet, and I really hope that you would catch it. Hi, Haley. No, Drawer, I refuse. I would sooner delete my entire Twitch channel before affiliate. Because that means that I would actually have to think about, like, emotes and redeems and making things not scuffed. And that just sounds like too much work. Not for me, Hunty. I love y'all. This is always such a scuffed and non-prepared thing ever. But the fact that there's at least 2 people who always come in, it makes me smile. But it also makes me worry about y'all's mental health. Like, you could be doing quite literally anything else. Dave, please no. You scare me with those threats. Wait, Connie. I'm gonna be sending you a message. And it will be a threat. So I was doing a lot of thinking when it comes to what a sort of community would be with this, because realistically it's kind of just like a hodgepodge of different people that I like moderate for communities, or just people who I'm a regular in chat for, but I figured that people who choose to, for some reason, watch me should also have like a special name. Lisa, I always threaten chat. Like, there's a reason that I use the bat emote so much. Oh my god, Connie. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and so I want to ask chat something because I'm between 2 different options. So I was thinking about having my community either be called just a book and everyone would be pages or chapters, or the community could be a library and each and every one of you could be your own book. Is there anything that y'all actually prefer? Hey, Batch. Library and books? Library. Okay. Connie, if you're a book, you're gonna be like a Where's Waldo. No, you're gonna be a Blank for Dummies. But okay, I'll probably go with library then. I may have to commission some stuff with that then. I'm closing stream, I'm out of here. Connie, you love me. Stop it with those threats. I know that that's all they are. Empty words. Do you have refs of I need to make a ref sheet. I still don't have. I have a singular Google Doc that I've been able to have some people somehow get information out of. But I do actually need to get a ref sheet. Yeah, I know. It's bad. I'm working on it, I swear. But no, the only sort of ref sheet that I have is my regular PNG, and then stuff that other people have drawn, like Kali and Connie and Day and Mono have all drawn. Oh, I believe Lurk has also drawn some stuff of how I look. I think those are the only ones. I'm so sorry to anyone if I'm forgetting. But I'll probably get a ref sheet here soon. I just need to find someone to actually do it, and for me to have the money to pay them. Because always pay your artists. Always, always, always forever pay artists. Don't offer like exposure or anything like that. Just like make sure that if you're going to be spending money on like art or food or writing or anything like that, the people who are doing a lot of work for it, make sure and pay them. And pay them well. Because at least with artists, they tend to get screwed over. Like, a lot. There's a lot of horror stories that I read. Where people kind of get screwed over because they're paid in exposure and stuff like that. So please, if you do have the money to get those sorts of things, make sure that you are actually like paying them. Because I could never imagine trying to do all of that willingly. Like, it's absolutely insane. Artists are extremely, extremely talented, and I am forever grateful that my friends can draw, because I cannot. I honestly do not know what to talk about. I need to get some better conversation topics. But I have noticed that it is getting a bit easier for me to do these sorts of things. Alrighty, since I no longer know what I'm going to be rambling to you guys about, do I believe that animals have souls? Honestly, yes. Souls and the like is a rather weird thing for me, because I believe that every single thing that has lived has a potential to have a soul. And I am a big fan of reincarnation. I don't particularly follow any sort of belief with afterlife and such, and even if I did, this would not be the best platform to talk about it. But I find it interesting. But unfortunately for y'all, I don't have one, so you're dealing with Ghost Me. Speaking of ghosts, Let's actually get into this game, shall we? Let's see. Hopefully it will load up. I've been having a good bit of issues with getting things to actually pop up on the game screen, so I'm glad that this is working. I have not done a good bit of messing around with this. All that I've really done is edited the volume. I also haven't seen like any playthroughs of this game. I do know that it's rather short. Are you gonna get bitches? Pass. But I've done some editing with the volume so it doesn't blast your ears out, because whenever I first pulled this up, it did blast my ears out. And yeah, let's let's have a look into this, shall we? Oh, hello there. Hold on, I need to move my screen ever so slightly so I can fully see. Okay. You must be here for the speed dating. My name's Fran. I run this little operation. Nice to meet you, Fran. You're a nice one. We got all kinds of ghosts here. Nice ones, sad ones, a few spooky customers. It gets lonely being a ghost. It has been pretty difficult. It has? Wonderful! Then let's get started. I don't know why it's speeding fast so quickly. We've got 3 rooms set up, each with their own super fun themes. You pick one and sit at a table. Her neck like that because her neck's a little bent. Don't worry about it, Haley. It's fine. It's fine. I promise. Then what? Another ghost who also signed up sits across from you. You'll have a few minutes to get to know them. Then a bell rings, and you switch seats. A bell rings from somewhere. Just like that. In all, you'll meet 3 ghosts over 2 rounds. And at the end, you'll get to choose your favorite. Haley, what are you talking about? Is your neck not like that? Like, come on. If they liked you too, you'll go on a date. How's all that sound? I can't wait. We'll see. I can't wait. Neither can I. First things first, though. Choose your room. Room of palms, room of liars, room of black. Chat, what do y'all think? I'll let you guys have some choice with this. Nah, my neck good is straight. Okay, well look at you over here with the straight neck. Couldn't be me. My poor phone, I'm looking at it. I'm having to watch stream from there. We got liars, we've got black. Remember black like my gloom? Hunty. Alrighty. Let's go, let's start off with the room of black then. Oh, look at the little flowers! The room of black isn't really a room at all. It's more of a garden courtyard. The sun beats down as you squint to see what's growing. Rows upon rows of yellow and brown plants, drying and rotting in the sun. what fruit these plants produced shriveled on the vine. But there's a peace to this place. The crickets are chirping, and well beyond the garden, a train passes. You sit at a table opposite an empty chair. Oh god, this is a very bright green. The bell rings and a ghost appears. Oh my god, is this Day? Ooh, I'm a ghost. Ooh. Lol. Wait. Lol. Isn't it great being dead? It sure is pretty neat. Right? Being dead is the best way to live. I'm Dre. Oh my god, no. Look, if you just get rid of the R and like swap the E and the A, this is dope, Damon. Congratulations, Day. I didn't know that you were actually in this game. I'm like dead, obviously. Nice to meet you, Drea. Square. Hey, I'm cool. Sure you are. That's not your Pontiac in the parking lot? I don't remember how I got here. Weird. That's weird. Quit being weird. That's just who I am. So, like, what are you into? A distraction. I can help with that. Oh my god, it is Day. I'm very distracted. Drea looks around. Dre looks around. I'm sorry, I'm a dumb bitch. Man, look at this place. Only ghosts would think a rotting garden is a good place to pick up. And yet, you're here. Well, yeah, I'm here. Ever tried dating ghosts in the wild? They all just contort and wail. And not in the good. Oh my god. Hunty. My ex was a nightmare. I assume you mean a literal nightmare? I've gone out with all kinds. Pretty girls in dresses, who carry their own heads. A shadow who refused to let me look directly at him. Being dead is great. It's the other dead people that kill me. Blunt. Where I could use one. Just kidding. Pot does nothing now. Holy does it do nothing. Getting messed up is the only thing I miss about living. When I was alive, I loved jokes about dying. Day, this is quite literally just you. Life sucked. Jerks everywhere. Never enough money. The jerks got the money. I'd be all, the best way to die is now. Before death does me in, it should at least buy me dinner. Jokes, you know? But now that I am dead, it just feels right. Like, maybe it was meant to be. Which, I guess makes sense. Since we all die and junk. Haley, enjoy your dinner. Let me know what you have whenever you get back. Oh, okay. The bell rings. And the ghost rang that bell again. That means we change places. See you in a bit. I liked Dre. Dre was pretty cool. Ugh. I love pink. Another ghost appears. Oh my god, it's a grandma.
Well, hello there. I'm Hattie. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a little shy. It's just so nice to get out of the home, to see a new face.
The home?
I haunt the old folks' home, where I died.
Okay. I'm... What kind of design is this? I'm very confused. I do like this, though.
Queen Mary's. It's not a nice place to live, let alone die.
They treated you poorly?
I wouldn't say poorly. The nurses do their best, but they are short-staffed. The residents are frequently neglected. To make Queen Mary's a little better, that is my mission in death.
Oh, I like that. She's sweet. Reminds me of SpongeBob's grandma. Okay, yeah, I can see it. Gloom, I'm glad that you enjoy the voices. I try. How do you help?
Any way I can. I keep watch on vitals, ring a nurse when needed, tuck residents in at night. In their final moments, I whisper in their ears, "There is more," I say. "We've been trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty. This is our final attempt to do so. Just you wait."
That's so nice.
I never thought death would be like this. As ghosts, we have power over the living, whether they know it or not. We ought to use that power for good.
I'd say that I agree with that.
Now that you're dead, what do you do with your time?
I'm still figuring that out.
It's strange being dead. There's a Bible verse I think about sometimes. It is better for you to enter the kingdom of God with one eye than to have two eyes and be thrown into hell, where the worms that eat them do not die, and the fire is not quenched. I still have both my eyes, but what I see isn't like hell.
Hell is other people.
I've heard that. I don't believe it. I can't imagine anything worse than being alone.
Were you alone when you were alive?
No, I had a partner. Milton. He's still alive, actually. A resident at the home.
Oh! The bell rings.
Ah, I guess that's our time. I suppose we will see you again when I come back around. Thank you for the talk.
She was so sweet! I really liked her! Another ghost appears. Oh! I see Envy's here. The ghost says nothing, only stares. Hi?
What is it you require?
I'm not sure.
You have an eternity to decide. That is what it means to die. We are stripped of time. We are given eternity.
Who are you?
My name? I am unknowable. The shadow of a shadow. You can call me Gary. That is who I was. Who I used to be.
Tell me about Gary.
Gary was a simple man. An accountant.
Like an actual accountant or like a TikTok accountant?
Common. Gary liked the patter of rain. Baseball games and decaffeinated tea.
That's a crime. What happened to Gary? The ghost's eyes grow wide. Gary was not happy about that day. I'm concerned about you. He breathes in deeply, remembering something horrible. I'm sorry.
Do not be sorry. Sorry is reserved for those who are not. I still feel the blade. The life draining out. Emptied. An empty space. Where once there was something. Now cobwebs. A draft.
Who killed you? Soapy, can you really blame him?
I do not remember. Can you help me remember?
The bell rings. Your time with Gary ends before you have a chance to answer. Perhaps if you get to know Gary a little better, you can help him. Help him remember how he died. It's one way to spend an evening. The second round begins. Oh, it's Dre again. Everyone... Oh, fuck. I accidentally went with Gary. Oh, fuck. Okay. Everyone's so flipping gloomy here. I keep thinking, who died? Everyone died. We could liven it up. Oh, man. Okay. Like a prank. Or maybe we try to scare the other ghosts. Who haunts the haunters or something. They seem hard to spook. You're probably right. That one ghost especially. I'm gonna say Hattie. That's the one. She looks like a snowball. Horrifying. I did see a panicky little ghost. They went into another room. If only they were here. Man, we should just go haunting. Freak out some flesh bags. Give them something to be afraid of. I'd like that. Cool. I don't meet a lot of ghosts like you. Nice ones, I mean. Usually I pal around with other poltergeists. So you actually like that I'm nice? I mean, why not? It's not like nice is all you are. Nice is a bonus for me. A personality quirk or whatever. I'm not always nice. Oh, I'm sure. You're so mean. Scary, too. Don't make that face. I like you just like you are. I sort of collect weirdos. My friend Beck likes to make corpses wink. At morticians. At open casket funerals. Allison haunts an airport hotel. Guess she likes to watch weird people do it. I just hang out. Go to shows. Terrorize this normie couple I know. Rich types who moved into my old house. They actually put up a plaque that says, "Live, laugh, love." Blech. So you're bored? Yeah, I guess. I sort of wasted my life. I don't want to waste my death. I want to meet ghosts who aren't like me. I'm sick of doing the same things. But then I actually remember I like doing those things. I really just want to share them with someone new. Welcome back, Stitch. We are doing round 2 of the Room of Black. This is Dre. We met Dre, Hattie, and Gary. Dre is a prankster who wants to sort of live his death, their death. Hattie was a sweet old grandma, and Gary was killed. I know I probably sound pathetic. The bell rings. Already? This was okay. Come find me after. We'll do something. What exactly do you have in mind? You'll see.
Hello again. How is the speed dating going? Is everything you hoped it would be?
There's some weirdos here.
Weirdos? That's not very nice, now is it? Even the living are a little weird. The dead? Well, just look at me. I look like cotton balls.
I suppose you're right.
You're darn right I'm right. I've been around the bend, lived longer than most of these other ghosts have been dead. I know a thing or two. Even still, dying has shown me there's still a lot to learn. Always something new worth knowing.
Hattie looks at the garden, rotting around you.
Do you like gardening?
I love gardening.
I never much cared for flowers. They're beautiful, but they sure don't last. Vegetables are where it's at. I loved ones that grow like the dickens. Squash, snap peas, spaghetti squash vines are thick and sharp. They will choke other plants if you're not careful.
Haley, she's cotton balls. Don't worry about it. How about spinach?
Spinach is a fun one. If you stay on top of harvesting the baby leaves, a plant will produce for months. But if you neglect it, spinach will run wild and grow bitter. Now that we're ghosts, I know we don't need to eat. I still would like to grow food. Help something live, you know?
The bell rings.
Oop, there's the bell. I'm due at the nursing home tomorrow. I'd be honored if you'd join me. It's not as exciting a date as other ghosts might offer, but it has its rewards. Someone dear to me is taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid he only has a few days left. I want to make sure he knows they won't be his last.
Let me think about it.
I understand. I'll be at Queen Mary's at
7 a.m.?
Hope to see you there.
Haley, you need to go and touch grass. Like, seriously, it is my voice with things that look like pollen. Please don't thirst over it. Hattie floats over to the next table. She takes her time. It seems like she wishes she could just stay and talk to you. Here's Gary.
How did you die?
Let's focus on you for right now.
That is...
Oh, fuck.
that is... fair. I only recall slivers of my last moments alive. Emotions, work, a shadow along the wall. I know these memories are important. I do not know how they fit together.
tell me about the shadow.
The shadow was long, dark, but familiar. It crept along the wall. It crept through the office as we worked at night. It came for me. It has a name. Oh, why can't I remember its name?
Gary's eyes looked so threatening when you first met him. Now they look sort of sad. Maybe we should go to your old office.
I haven't been back. As much as there's something drawing me to that place, there's more pushing me away.
I'll be by your side.
Sentimental. And yet, knowing I will not do this alone, it helps. I still feel the blade, the life draining out. Join me after the final bell. Together we will discover why.
The bell rings. Gary left a strange transit map behind. Routes you've never seen. A certain stop is circled. Choose your date. Alrighty, chat. Are we going with Gary and trying to figure out why he died? How he died? Who killed him? Are we going to go with Hattie and go to the old person's home? Or are we going to go with Dre, who wants to do some pranking and just live a little? I do genuinely want y'all to choose because chat involvement is always nice. Because I know which one I would want to do, but I also want this to be for everyone to decide. And if not everyone, then I will be choosing. I don't think that I can do polls quite yet, but... Oh, hi, Vice! I hope you enjoy the lurk. This is definitely a hard choice because I really like all of them. I'm really interested in each of them. Haley is saying Dre. But I think that's just because Haley got called out for the being attracted to a piece of pollen. Something that I could possibly do is we could possibly just go through all of the stories. I would have to do like multiple playthroughs, but I might actually do that. Okay, for now we will start with Dre's. I'll probably just go down the line because I am very, very interested in Gary's. So let's just go down the line then. Also, more and more people are saying Dre. So let's go with Dre. You ready? Yeah, you're ready. Dre has something planned, that's for sure. This is gonna be sweet. Dre takes you to a house in the city. A duplex. Brick. Not a bad looking place. maybe a little run down. It's clearly had some renovations, though. Like the neighborhood, its edges have been filed off in favor of some good old-fashioned gentrification. The front door is a fresh shade of red, and there's a pretty nice car in the driveway. My place. When I was just another flesh bag. Really? Yeah, really. What, you're surprised? When I was here, it was way better. There was a pawn shop over there, where that garbage Java Joy Joy is now. They always had great tapes. Now it's just coffee. Everyone just drinks coffee and does yoga. Whatever. Come on. Let's go inside. I will say though, Haley, I really like Dre's design. Out of the three, it's probably my favorite. From the inside, the house looks like a show home. Perfectly decorated rooms with perfectly placed furniture. Everything matches because almost everything is white or gray. They get cleaners, pay them like nothing, and complain when they don't wash the walls. Ceramic letters hang on a yellow accent wall. Live, laugh, love. This is the garbage I'm talking about. Live, laugh, love. Spew, barf, puke. Dre starts rearranging the letters. E-V-I-L. Oh man. G-H-O-U-L. And then that leaves L-A-E-V. What does that spell? Veil. Does evil ghoul veil mean anything? Veil means valley. Get rid of veil. What about leave? Veil means valley. I mean, valley sort of works, right? Like, evil ghoul's domain. Bah! Dre starts throwing remaining letters on the floor, smashing them to bits. They take a step back to survey their handiwork. Evil ghoul. Lol. So, where should we hit next? The bedroom. Ooh, good call. Always gotta go to the bedroom. Don't fuck with the kitchen. The bedroom is something. A king-size bed with 8-foot mahogany posts. A painted carving of a butler at the door with a tray for keys. A cream blanket with colorful stripes that harkens back to the fur trade. Wicker everywhere. Okay. I gotta say, chat, do not judge me for this. I really like wicker furniture. Like, it looks so pretty. However, it does make me want to eat frosted mini wheats. Because, like, I feel like they would have the same taste and consistency. Sometimes you just... I really want to take a bite out of, like, a wicker chair at times. Haley, you need to destroy it. Where do we even start? The bed. Alright. Watch this. Dre concentrates really hard on the bed, and it begins to levitate off the ground. Ooh, this is heavy. With great effort, Dre manages to flip the bed completely over, so it stands on its 4 posts, with blankets and pillows falling into a pile underneath. Oh. The fuck? Hi, Day. We ended up going with, choosing Dre over Hattie and Gary, but I am planning on doing some more run-throughs, where we will actually see Hattie's and Gary's stories. We've changed a Live, Laugh, Love portrait to say Evil Ghoul. Yeah. Haley, wicker furniture, like, oh god, how can I describe wicker furniture? It's the ones that looks like it's completely made out of sticks. Yes, glue and frosted mini wheats. There's a click at the front door. Oh, jeez, they're home. Quick, this way. We're ghosts. Dre drags you into the front room just as the couple who lives here opens the front door. At first, they don't notice anything is wrong. They take off their shoes while bickering about who forgot to take the garbage out. The man is the first to see the letters on the wall. He stops talking. She looks up to see why. He points to the letters rearranged on the wall. And they proceed to freak the fudge out. They run away, not out the door, up the stairs, straight to the bedroom. They scramble up the stairs and slam the bedroom door shut, locking it behind them. Yes, they went to the bedroom. Dre looks at their wrist. There's no watch, but they pretend there is. Nothing's wrong with Gary. I honestly really want to do Gary's story, but chat was saying we start with Dre, so wait for it. You hear panicked whispers behind the door. A little longer.
Tanner, Dennis, I can't take this anymore. We are moving out. Now. Yes.
Oh man, this was the best date ever. Same time tomorrow at the Java Joy? I'm there. Rad. I liked that. That was nice. So yeah, I feel like that's how this game constantly goes. Hello again. It's nice to see you. I'll just put your name down, and you can go right in. Okay, let's do the Room of Black again. Because if it's, Dre, Hattie, and Gary, then I will want to do Hattie's story. You return to the Room of Black. The speed dating rounds have wrapped up, but some ghosts are still hanging around. Choose your date. Okay. Let's go with Hattie this time, and then we'll do Gary last. Okay? You arrive at Queen Mary's to meet Hattie for your date. It's 7:04 a.m. You're a little late. Okay, this could never be me. I am way too punctual. Like, I am that bitch who always is there, like, 15 minutes before something happens. I hate being late so much. And it, like, always bothers me whenever I'm late, even if it's, like, by 2 minutes. Looking around, this could be any nursing home. Yellowed walls, stained drop ceilings, supply cart lines, the corridors alongside the old empty IV stand. The sun's not quite up, but the residents sure are. Walking the halls to get a bit of exercise. Chatting over weak decaf in the dining room next to reception.
You came. Oh! Welcome to Queen Mary's, my home. What do you think?
It's nice.
Isn't it, though? I just love it here. These are my people.
Behind Hattie, an old woman hangs up the lobby phone. The woman begins to cry.
Her son. Probably making more excuses not to visit.
Can we do anything?
Not unless you possess her son. And march his sorry butt down here.
Hattie laughs.
Please don't actually do that. It won't help. Besides, there's someone I want you to meet.
Hattie floats off down the left corridor. All these corridors look the same, but she knows exactly where she's going. You pass a number of open doors, glancing inside. Some residents watch TV from their beds. Others just stare out their windows or at the walls. Most rooms are bare. A few are decorated. There are tall plants, fine wood furniture. In one room, you spot a record collection. Essential possessions transplanted to make this place feel more like home. At the far end of a long hall, Hattie stops and turns to you.
So, I know this was probably obvious, but we're here to see Milton. He was my partner for 47 years. If you think I'm a firecracker, Milton's all sparks. You like him, I think. He's been doing worse lately.
Is he sick?
He's just old. The little things stack up when you're old. Eventually, one kills you. I've been spending a lot of time here. It has him concerned. Milton says I'm hanging on to the past. He wants me to make friends who are more like me. Ghosts, he means. I want to show him that I met a good one. I want him to meet you.
Oh, so we're going with you to see your still alive husband after you went speed dating. Okay.
It will make him so happy.
Hattie turns to go into Milton's room.
Good morning, Minnie.
Inside an empty bed, neatly made. Milton is gone.
Oh, no.
Hattie frantically searches the room. She spots the chart at the foot of the bed.
This says he had an aneurysm. He was taken to the hospital.
She looks at you with fear in her eyes.
I have to go.
I can come with you.
I'd like that. I know it's a lot to ask, but I'm scared to do this alone.
You arrive at the hospital with Hattie. She floats behind the reception counter to locate Milton's room. Second floor, intensive care. Milton's room is dim. A reedy old man with a thick mustache lies in bed, motionless. It's quiet, except for this steady whoosh and click of a machine by his side. A ventilator, connected to a tube run down his throat. The machine is breathing for him.
Oh no, Milton.
She looks around as if he might have already left his body.
They were supposed to let him go.
Hattie looks at Milton's chart.
It says he was found unresponsive. No signs of breathing activity. But I still feel his presence. Don't you?
I feel it.
But where is he? Is he lost somewhere? Is he trapped in there? Oh, Milton. His sister has power of eternity. He didn't want this. He signed a form that said, "Do not resuscitate." He didn't want this.
Hattie looks up.
I'm sorry I dragged you here. I know this must be quite awkward. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone with Milton for now.
I understand.
Thank you for understanding.
As you step into the hall to leave, you can hear Hattie saying something at Milton's bedside.
There's so much more, my love. Just you wait.
Oh no! Oh no!
Hello again. It's nice to see you. I'll just put your name down, and you can go right in.
Alrighty. Room of Black. Hopefully we'll be able to do Gary's. You return to the Room of Black. The speed dating rounds have wrapped up, but some ghosts are still hanging around. Okay. Let's go with Gary. I don't actually know, by the way, if there's like multiple parts. Like if we were to see Hattie again or Dre again. After Gary's, we'll look at the graveyard and we'll see what all that actually says. Alrighty. You arrive at the bus stop where Gary asked you to meet. Oh, and also, chat, thank you for staying with me with this sort of game. I know that it's not the most exciting, but I've heard a lot of good things about it and definitely wanted to give it a shot. So I really do appreciate each and every one of you that is here. And I promise that next time we'll actually do something that has a bit more action. Okay, you arrive at the bus stop where Gary asked you to meet. The last bus went by hours ago. Still, there are other ghosts, waiting for something. One natters to herself like a squirrel. Another is on the ground, arms around his knees, rocking back and forth. That's me. The third ghost has his back turned, staring silently into the darkness. It's Gary. Oh, he's wearing a bow tie! So fancy!
I wore a bow tie.
You look nice.
I wish to look respectable. One must look respectable when meeting one's end.
Thank you all. I do really appreciate you guys. Even though I'm not able to interact very much with ones that require a lot of reading, it's still nice. It's like I'm telling each of you guys a story.
Even for the second time. Also, I thought you would have liked it.
Are you nervous?
Nervous is the wrong word. What I feel is more like dread.
I'm nervous.
There is no need to worry. I am here.
Oh, thank you, Gary. What a man. Y'all.
I will ensure that you are safe. We are going to the place where I died. The office where I worked as an accountant.
Under the tracks? Who the fuck is doing accounting under a goddamn subway? Eat fresh.
Where the trains grind and the walls shake. The dead end of a crooked drive.
Sounds spooky.
Yes. Spooky.
A dim purple light washes over Gary's face.
The dead of night bus has arrived.
This bus is not sanctioned by any city. Its driver is a wisp, a fragment of a broken spirit, trained to perform repetitive tasks. I really like wisps. I really like all the stories that have to do with wisps. Hopefully I'll be able to tell some at a later date. But for now, we'll just stick with this. Y'all, Soapy. I can't. You and the other ghosts get on the bus. There is no fare. You've all paid the price. Thank God, they don't know I have $6 billion in my pocket. Would hate to use that for bus fare.
The office is just as I remember it. I sat in that corner. Accounting is not thrilling work, but it can be exceptionally busy.
The papers on Gary's old desk are carefully stacked. Bitch, how long have you been dead that they're still there? It seems he liked to keep things orderly.
My partner's desk. Always a mess.
Papers and rotting food cover every inch of the other desk. I could not. Rotting food,
Service.
What about your service?
Not my service. Service was my partner. Service Gelk.
What was he like?
I worked with the man for 16 years. At first for a bank. We were miserable, so we struck out on our own.
Gary sits at Service's desk. He turns on the desk lamp to get a better look at the papers. You'd make a good partner.
I tried my best.
Honestly, same. I love the bow tie so much. It's so cute.
I wish I could say the same for Service. He was a thief.
The green and gold lamp collecting dust on Service's desk casts a long shadow. The shadow begins to move. It creeps along the wall until it hangs squarely over Gary.
He was telling our clients they owed money. Money they did not owe. He would pocket it.
Oh my god. I accidentally sounded British. That means another sip of water. Y'all need to stay hydrated too.
He would pocket it for himself. Small amounts, so I would not notice. But small numbers do not add up.
Gary struggles to stand. He seems troubled by something.
When I confronted him, there was a fight.
In this room?
Yes. I killed him. Oh God. I still feel the blade. The knife in my hand. I looked for gloves, bleach. I found them, but I could not hide what I'd done. Instead, I called the police. Sitting quietly in the dark, I waited for them to arrive. When the officers knocked on the door, I was so scared. They warned me, but I couldn't let go of the weapon, frozen in place right there in our office. They shot me where I stood. I died here. Same as Service. You... Not doing this one. You didn't mean to, at least you didn't mean to. But I did mean to do it. I acted with a clear head. I was not forced. I must carry this burden, atone for my act. I take comfort knowing Service is out there. Somewhere. Perhaps seeking his own vengeance. I suppose it is only right that I give it to him.
Gary, no. Gary is gone. The office is darker now. On the wall, you see a portrait. 2 smiling men. Service. And Gary. The day they opened their firm. The office begins to shake as the first train of the day rolls by overhead. But the picture stays fixed to the wall. Okay, that was sad. Okay, that was actually really sad. Okay, what's this? Oh! Oh, it's everyone's graves! Oh, and Hattie... Milton's right there next. They're buried together. Here's Gary. Oh, here's Dre. Oh man, this actually makes me sad. Okay. Start game.
Hello again. It's nice to see you. I'll just put your name down, and you can go right in.
Alrighty. Palms or liars, y'all? We've done the 3 stories for the Room of Black, which I don't know how, but Dre's, his was the least sad, and then I don't know between Hattie's and Gary's. Both of them were, oh man, that was, whew, that was sad. That was really fucking sad. Oh man. I do like the music that they have for this though. Oh man, after doing... Okay, I don't think that I can actually give anybody else that voice because it always takes a toll on me. Liars? Okay. And it's not liars as in like telling a lie, it's like a harp, so. Ooh, wine. Okay, we're getting crunk. The Room of Liars looks a bit like a conference hall. The kind you might see in an airport hotel. There was a meeting of regional managers here yesterday, followed by some couple's 65th anniversary in the evening. They left a few balloons behind. Worn, plush stacking chairs are set on either side of the lacquered oak tables. In one corner, there are wine glasses and a metal pitcher of water, alongside a stainless steel urn for coffee. Ghosts don't need coffee. One particular nervous ghost is holding a cup anyway. Some habits never die. Ugh, gorgeous color. I love the shade of purple. The bell rings, and a ghost appears.
Ha! A ghost! Oh my god. Sorry. Of course you're a ghost. We all are. I'm still not used to this whole thing. Being dead thing.
I'm not used to it either.
Nothing prepares you for this life. Except this isn't life. Post-life? I feel so lost. When I used to have anxiety attacks, I'd focus on my breathing. Listen to my heart beating. Now I can't breathe. I don't even have blood. What does that mean?
Take it one step at a time.
Steps. Yeah, that's a good one. It took me forever just to learn how to walk on solid ground. When I first woke up, after I died, I fell right through my coffin, through my own body, down, 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 into the bedrock. It was so dark.
That sounds awful.
It was. I will never forget the confusion. The helplessness. I seized up. That stopped me from falling. It was like my whole body became corporeal. Not flesh. Just like, you know, how if you concentrate, you can pick up objects? Like that. Except I was the object, and the earth was holding me. It was so quiet there, stuck in solid rock.
How did you get out?
I pulled myself up, away from the heat below, sort of clawed my way to the surface. Through the earth. I felt the rock moving through me. Ah!
The bell rings. Okay, I really like them. They're cute.
Oh, that was just the bell. Whew. Thank you for listening. I guess we'll talk more in a bit. Hopefully the other ghosts are as nice as you.
That was sweet. I rather liked them. Another ghost appears. Oh man, what sort of voice are we doing for you? Oh man, okay. Well, look what we have here. Oh wait, no, the ghost voice creaks like ancient wood. Okay. Let's see if I can do like a Cockney accent. The name's Spooky Peter. He tips his hat. Dust spills off the brim. Hi, Mono!
How do you do?
You seem ancient.
My record of hauntings goes back long as the door, since the Black Death took me in 65.
Oh, wait, no. Fuck, they're European. Fuck, they're European! Damn it! Oh, God. Okay, fuck. You know what, I'm just sticking with that voice.
Oh no, that's scary. 1665.
I thought the plague was earlier.
The Black Death came in wave.
Nope, fuck. I always go back to Gary's voice.
The Black Death came in waves, lingered for centuries.
I was a doctor. Fuck. So much more information. London. Oh god. Does that mean I have to do my awful British voice? Vice, if you're still here, I'm so sorry.
I was a doctor in London. I knew I got it. The second the chill started, I was dead in days. The last great gasp of bubonic on the island. Some 68,000 went with me.
Oh, Mono, what did I do? I'm innocent.
Ever since then, I've been spooking folks. Even been in the books. Not always by name, mind you. But you can tell when it's me. The top hat. The fear. All hot and sick. Nobody spooks them like Spooky Peter.
I try my best.
Do you? Guess I see it. The potential, I mean. I can help with that.
Teach me your spooky ways.
Now. Spooky Peter doesn't just teach anybody. A rock has potential before you throw it through a window. What makes you any better?
I turn milk into worms.
Ghost affair, eh? I suppose I can see that working.
Yeah, Haley, he's had like 4 different voices now.
Especially if they're drinking the milk when it happens. Worms is a leap, though. Maggots will blend in a little better. People are spooked by the unexpected. Messing with something familiar like that, it can be pretty spooky, that's for sure. No way they're going near milk again.
Spooky Peter laughs. Or coughs. It's hard to tell. Mono, I am innocent. I've just been trying to do a voice.
How's that for a lesson?
Useful.
Good. There's more where that came from. If legendary spooking is what you're after, then Spooky Peter's gonna take you under his wing, so to speak. You'll need a solid foundation. It's all about knowing your audience. A good spooking is in the details.
Day wooed at you, or at you from me, and you didn't respond. Taking you to purgatory ASAP, no Rocky. Mono, I did not. Where did he woo? Did he woo earlier in stream? I might have missed that. Was it on Twitter? Where did he woo? Where? I feel bad. I don't know where it was. Mono, please don't pick me up and take my lunch money. I'm just a little bedsheet ghost.
The bell. It means we move on. Guess I'll be seeing ya when I come back round.
I feel so bad because Spooky Peter had so many voices. A thick layer of dust now covers the table. Oh, this is very bright. Another ghost appears.
Wanna make some money?
Excuse me?
Do you want to make some money? Dollar bills. Cashola. You know the stuff.
I understand what money is.
Good. Then you understand why I want more.
What? Do ghosts even need money?
Technically, no. We don't buy things. But money buys something else now. Favors for the breathers. Influence. Information. The living always want the money. The living buy plenty. Name's Leon, by the way. I rob banks. Don't judge.
You rob banks?
Banks. Financial institutions. Cash condos. You know the joints.
How do you propose we do this?
We're ghosts, aren't we? The problem with robbing banks. People see the robbers. But you can't see a ghosty. We can just walk right in and float that money right on out. Genius, right? It's the perfect crime.
I can't believe I'm humoring you.
You know it'll be a good time. We might get money out of it. And what are the consequences?
Are the cops gonna arrest a ghost?
No. No, they are not.
There's no harm in hearing you out.
No harm at all. At the very least.
It was in stream. I'm gonna need that lunch money right now. Please, no. Well, Mono, we're luckily gonna be robbing a bank, so you'll be able to get money there.
It'll break up all the gloom in this room.
Leon looks around at the other ghosts.
Yeesh.
The bell rings.
Nuts. Time to switch seats. Don't worry. I'll be back. We got more to talk about.
Mono was very bad at this. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm a dumb bitch. The second round begins.
The other ghosts. Holy, they were awful. Leon's just a creep. And Spooky Peter. The name is earned. Oof. Also, I think I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Kyo. Sorry.
Ah! No need to be sorry.
No need, sure. I'm still sorry, though. My anxiety gets the best of me. And social situations are tough.
Just gotta find a new therapy. Day, don't make me, like, pause stream so that I can go therapy mode on your ass. I will.
I will. This one especially.
Leon's a piece of work.
I'll say. He actually asked me to rob a bank. Can you believe that? When I told Fran. You told Fran? I feel like I had to. Oh gosh. Does this make me a snitch? Will Leon find out? Maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
It's probably for the best.
Right? Who comes to speed dating looking for bank robbers? Leon's got some guts. Or whatever the ghost equivalent is.
You're not like these other ghosts.
I'm sure thankful for that. At best, dating ghosts is frustrating. Everyone asks the same things. How did you die? What was your life like? If we were alive, the questions would be like, what kind of food do you like? What's your favorite movie? Dying doesn't make people more interesting. It's Videodrome, by the way. My favorite movie, I mean.
What was your life like?
Oh, please. Not you too. I'll give you the short version. I was in film studies, working my way toward a PhD. In debt, always. Pretty sad. I had good friends, though. I was always studying. One weekend, they convinced me not to study. They said we could go out to the lake instead.
Did he drown? Oh my god, did he drown?
I couldn't swim. I never learned. You see where this is going? No! No!
Hi, Powder Gray. Welcome to the speed dating.
Everything went black and quiet. I woke up dead in a fancy wooden box, under 6 feet of dirt. That's when I fell deeper, like I told you before. I hate thinking about it. Why do I always dwell on the bad stuff?
Well, you are dead.
The ultimate downer. I promise I can be fun. What should we do after this?
Go swimming. No. We could go for coffee.
At a coffee shop? No thanks. We can't drink coffee anymore. And I hate being around the living. They somehow make me even sadder.
You go to an art gallery. I really like art galleries. I love art so much. I love going to museums.
Art galleries depress me. Half the art is super sad, and all of it's better than anything I could do. Which just reminds me that I wasted my life. So I'm gonna say no to art. Tell you what, I'll come up with something. Something a little different, hopefully.
That sounds good.
Yay! Look at the smile! Look at the smile, that's so cute! I can't wait to do something with you. That isn't talking about myself. Sorry.
The bell rings.
See you after we're done.
Oh my god, Paragraph, I can't believe that you just kept it on. Oh god, Spooky Peter, I'm so sorry for all the Peter fans in chat. I just can't do accents. And considering he's fucking British. Ugh, okay.
My spooky protege returns. What knowledge do you seek, protege?
Protege?
I've done the rounds. Had a look at the crop. Only you have what is required. The stuff. Now ask what needs asking.
How do you scare people?
Lots of ways. In older days, it was just cracks in the window, the slamming of doors. With electricity came flickering lights. These were pedestrian. Over the ages, I learned, if you want to spook 'em good, you must be memorable. You need what my contemporaries call an angle.
So what do you do now?
My method is to be a presence. An eternity. People feel, but can't quite see, and most surely fear. I'm that looming shadow,
when your back is turned in the dark, as you scramble to find the light. Ever get that feeling when you're seeing to your when you're seeing to your necessaries, shampoo in your hair, eyes shut, that something's there, about to get you? That's me.
Oh my god, why are you watching me shower?
Yikes. Yikes is what I'm after. Yikes sustain me.
Spooky Peter wheezes. Girl, go get you a fucking inhaler. Something's rattling around in there. Tell me about the plague.
The man I was died. I won't say much more than I have. I did my life. Now I do something else entirely. You ever been to the mirror world?
What's that?
The place beyond this. But the same as this. You've seen it. But always looking in.
Oh, you're perfectly alright, Para. I hope you enjoy your lurk. The bell rings.
If you fancy another lesson, come on by that edge of things. I'll show you around the other side.
I'd like that.
Maybe you think you'd like it. Seeing it's another thing entirely. Something spooky than Spooky Peter. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. You'll come in with me while I get a third ghost to do the door.
Do you know which bank yet?
Absolutely. A scheduled breach up on 4th. Bored tellers, lots of older customers. It's a great place to hit.
How'd you find it?
A friend put me on it. He's trustworthy, don't worry.
Leon pulls out some graphing paper.
I drew the layout in pencil. I probably didn't need so much detail, since we're going in the front door. I just figured it's best to be prepared. Wait. Does this mean you're interested?
Tell me more about you first.
Alright, fine. I'll give you my life story. A British version. It'd probably help maintain our cover anyway.
Fran walks by. It seems like she's eavesdropping.
The trouble with me is, it's hard not to talk about stealing. I stole candy when I was 9, switched to stealing beer at 15, stole my first car a year later, I hit up some convenience stores, drive-ins, even held up a laundromat once. I threw my back out, carrying all those quarters.
Did you ever get caught?
Big or small, every heist has a hitch. 3 or 4 so bad. I was in and out of jail, but it wasn't anything serious. Until I got a groove together. And started doing banks. Even country cops took that seriously. Caught me good after 5. I spent the rest of my life behind bars.
So you have unfinished business.
Nothing so dramatic. Stealing's just all I know. It's a hobby. A talent. The love of my life.
The bell rings.
That's our time. You've heard my pitch. Gotten to know me. A little more than I like. So what do you say?
Help him out.
Yes. I'll be at this branch. At this time.
Leon slides you a slip of paper.
It's been a slice.
Choose your day. Okay. I'm gonna do Spooky Peter first. Simply so I can get his voice out of the way. Because I feel bad that I'm constantly messing it up. You arrive for your date with Spooky Peter. A hall of mirrors at a roadside carnival. A clown's face, all smiles and menace, watches over the entrance. Oh my god, Connie Miko? Guest appearance in this game? We stand.
Welcome to my home.
Oh fuck, that was very Canadian. Inside, there are twisted corridors lined with mirrors. With only a slight reflection, it's especially disorienting to navigate these halls. Spooky Peter leads you to a specific mirror, taller than the others. The mirror's face is concave, as if it were to pull in everything around it.
We are going in this mirror.
Follow him. Follow him to the ends of the earth. Together you step into the mirror. Oh. You're slightly green.
Welcome to the Mirror World, or as it's known here,
Rorem it. That's the mirror world, spelled backwards.
Do you see the eerie green? That is what happens when an image reflects itself. It takes on an eerie green. The more times a reflection is reflected, the greener it becomes. Just like this.
That's pretty green. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for not being that vibrant of a green. I appreciate it.
Do not be afraid. Nothing can hurt you. In the mirror world, the physical laws are upended. Am I really here? Or am I over here? Or am I over here? Perhaps it's all of the above. Or even no way at all.
That's amazing. Fuck it, if anybody chooses K, I can't.
I thought you might be impressed. I have practiced these skills for ages. Centuries. It's not easy being green.
Fucking Kermit the Frog ass.
Now come with me. The spooking hour approaches. That's 3 a.m. in case you're wondering.
Where are we going?
We're headed to a brownstone. A walk-in I know quite well. The second floor apartment. In a house going on 100 years. A student of the arts named Paul has moved in. He heard the rumors. The house is haunted, they said. He ignored them. The cost was worth the fear.
Together you and Spooky Peter fly through the void. Oh no, you're perfectly alright, Stitch. Like, y'all, it is perfectly alright if you're late, if you don't talk, if you leave. Any of that is perfectly alright, I promise. Passing countless mirrors in reverse, each peering into a life still being lived.
Each mirror in the living world is actually a door. Staring into one long enough in the dark, or saying a spirit's name 3 times, that's like knocking.
After a short trip through the oblivion, you arrive at a particularly decorative mirror.
A splendid haunt.
Spooky Peter leads you through the mirror glass into one long hall lined with bricks on one side. There are still boxes in the hall. The mirror you step through is propped up against the wall. At the far end is a massive kitchen with original marble tile that does not hide its age.
Paul is sleeping. Let's get to spooking.
Spooky Peter leads you through the closed bedroom door, where a man in his late 20s is sound asleep on a mattress. Oh my god, is this the Curio sleep stream last night? We just hear me 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 me.
Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me.
I don't know how old Kirio is. Oh well. He is snoring loudly. Me, 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 me. Spooky Peter floats to one shadowy corner by the open window, then motions for you to do the same. The curtain flaps over Peter's shadowy visage. He stands silently, hat bent slightly forward. He's just standing there. Should we shake the bed?
Patience, protege. The aim is to be a presence, not a threat.
Spooky Peter stands motionless for several minutes. Wait, no, 40 minutes. 40 minutes of doing nothing but standing there. Ah, welcome to disassociation. Finally, he moves away from the corner.
Watch, protege, as I tighten the knot.
Spooky Peter sinks into the hardwood floor. The old wood lets out a loud creak, 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 as steady as a pulse. Paul is still snoring. Me, 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 me. Peter moves into the ceiling and starts to scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Like raspy breaths. Paul is still snoring. Me, 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 me. Peter is starting to look annoyed. He floats over to Paul and peeks into his ear.
Some sort of orange foam. It obstructs his ear canal, preventing him from hearing us. Again, I am thwarted by the progress of man.
Scratch on the wall. You scratch with one nail long and deep above Paul's head. It leaves a long vertical line in the plaster. Make it a cross.
Excellent work, protege. Faith haunts him, same as ghosts. The fear this will sow brings me butterflies. I am proud of you, protege. Truly, you are spooky this day.
Spooky Peter leads you back to the hallway mirror. Back through the weird mirror world of his. Oh, bye, Paul. Me, 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 me.
A fractal realm on the dull side of the Tane.
What he said. Eventually, you reach the mirror that leads you back to where you came in.
Well, this is me. Thank you for your company.
This was fun. Even though we were standing there for 40 minutes disassociating.
I am pleased. Before we return to the physical world, I should warn you. Time behaves differently in the mirror world. What may have felt like hours was in fact years. A decade has since passed since we began this.
A decade?
I speak into. Okay, thank God. It's barely been the length of a talkie. The look of fear on your face. Spooky Peter spooked you good.
He tips his hat to say goodbye. More dust falls off the brim.
Guess I'll be seeing you.
A breeze picks up and the rest of him blows away. Sorry about this one. Alrighty. I'll most likely look at the gravestones after the end of the 3 sets of dates.
Hello again. It's nice to see you. I'll just put your name down, and you can go right in.
Because, like, I just feel like seeing it after what happens with each story is nice. You return to the Room of Liars. The speed dating rounds have wrapped up, but some ghosts are still hanging around. Alrighty. We'll most likely do Kyo and see what they have in mind, and then we'll rob a bank with Leon. So let's go with Q. You meet Kyo the next day, waiting on the street as you approach, looking nervous.
I'm nervous.
Damn, this is me for real. Except for I can actually swim.
Aren't you nervous?
Definitely.
What?
I said I'm nervous too.
Hold on a second. Let me take off these headphones. That's better. So, what were you saying?
I'm nervous too.
If you're nervous, maybe I'm right to be nervous too. Oof. You ready to go?
Sure am.
The middle of nowhere. Not literally. I know, 'cause we're ghosts. The middle of nowhere could mean something weird. Just come with me.
Kyo takes you to the woods. Deep into the trees, far from any paved roads.
Did you know I make greeting cards? For ghosts to give to other ghosts. Happy anniversary of your tragic end. I'm happy for your loss. That sort of thing.
I love Kyo's smile. It's so sweet.
It's just a hobby.
You stop at a particularly barren patch of prairie land. Everything is frozen over. A few clusters of trees are stripped of their leaves, with branches like bony hands. Squat birds huddle together for warmth near a frozen lake, while a dry, biting wind blows through.
Isn't it great out here? I come here to think. I watch the birds. I listen to music. There aren't many souls here.
Okay, y'all, for real, this is very much so like how I am. I love being in isolated places, especially in winter, and just listening to music. Like, near where I live, there's actually, a park that has some woods. And so, I often, go to that park, especially whenever it's, like, colder, because then less people will be out. I go there and I climb a massive hill. And there's like this huge sitting area. I don't think that I've ever actually seen anybody up there anytime that I've gone, but it's always so pretty, especially whenever it's nearing dawn or dusk, because you can just see the light. And whenever it's like bouncing off of everything, it just looks so nice.
Just the birds in the wind.
I see why you like it.
I can be myself here. No one bothers me. I don't need happy things to remind me that I'm not happy. I need sad things to remind me it's okay to be sad sometimes.
That's a nice way to put it.
It's exhausting to worry like I do, but I'd rather embrace my sadness than just ignore it. Sadness is a real thing, as real as we are, anyway, so I embrace it.
Kyo looks out onto the frozen lake.
Come with me. I want to show you something.
Kyo leads you away from the lake and toward a pocket of trees. Hidden among the poplars and pines is an old house. The wood is gray and brittle. The roof collapsed long ago. This house is a tiny thing. When it was standing, it just had a single room. Inside, The floors are rotted through and covered in layers of bird droppings. In one corner, a wood-burning stove is rusted through. There's not much else.
An entire family lived here. Kids were born here. People died here. And then it was abandoned. Left to fall apart. Lost among the trees. Now it's my home.
Love what you've done with it.
I could never change a thing. It's perfect.
Yeah, Batch, please do not, talk about, things currently going on. I would greatly appreciate, like, no political talk in these streams. But yeah, Soapy and Para definitely need to find a place to unwind. It's always nice. Wouldn't change it. Kyo leads you back out into the cold. Back to the edge of the frozen lake. No, it's perfectly alright. Just in the future, just try and refrain from doing stuff like that. I want to try and have a community where we don't really have to talk about things from the outside world.
This is as far as I will ever go now. And you know what? That's fine.
Everything's fine. Okay, I rather liked Kyo's. Theirs was a nice story.
Hello again. It's nice to see you. I'll just put your name down, and you can go right in.
Alrighty. Time for Leon. I guess it's time to rob a bank. Leon said to meet him in front of the Mortal Trust on 4th. Like the name suggests, this is a bank for the living. Once they notice they've been robbed, they shouldn't suspect the dead. Hopefully. Gloom, I'm sorry for that for you, but, like, just a place to relax is nice.
I'm getting nervous, I'm not gonna lie. The others are supposed to be here.
Maybe they're just a little late.
I sure hope so. Without them, we're down a lookout. And our guy on the inside...
what's my role?
You'll be coming in with me. The score in there? It'll take more than one ghost. I need your hands full. And your mouth shut. Oh, good. Here comes Carl.
Hey.
This is Carl's bat. Our token breather. No offense.
None taken. I'm just happy you ghosts want to hang out. So, how's it going? You're alive? Yes. And you can see us? Of course. I've been seeing ghosts all my life. No one believes me. I'm pretty jealous of you ghosties. No responsibilities. Just floating around. Not a care in the world. Ghosts have responsibilities. I guess you got, like, closure and stuff. No, I have a mortgage. Whatever. You still don't gotta work at a bank. This bank, actually. Honestly, Para, yeah, that sounds nice. I'm a teller here. I know the combo to the safe. And where the cameras are pointed. Why care about cameras? You can just go invisible. But I sure can't. Hence the mask. And as for the safe, I trust Leon just fine. Just not enough to tell him the code. Who cares if a camera sees you? I care. Just because I'm robbing this bank doesn't mean I want to quit my job. The benefits are actually pretty good. Drawer! I'm so glad for you! Congratulations! Fucking house hunting is awful, so I'm so glad you got that. Like, seriously, I'm so happy for you. We stan.
All banks are bad. Satan's in suits. No offense.
None taken.
And speak of the devil.
Fuck! Why do you haunt me?
How do you do? Spooky Peter! In the flesh, so to speak. We met in the room of... Fuck. We met in the room of light. No. Same as you. When I told him I robbed banks.
Yeah, no, like, fuck. Drawer. You definitely deserve a good cry. Like, seriously. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
He immediately said he was in, before he even heard the plan. Always looking to get my beak wet. So to speak. So here's what we're gonna do. Spooky Peter will hide out by the door. Watch for trouble. Should be smooth sailing. They closed 6 hours ago.
6 hours ago? Okay, so it's like 10 p.m.
And there's no security tonight. I saw that too.
What happened to Winston?
Who?
The security guard.
He's taking some time off.
Oh, good. Winston worked so hard. He could use a break.
And that's what he got. A break. Did Spooky Peter kill him? Let's get this train rolling. Follow me.
Carl pulls out some keys and unlocks the front door. Though alive, he's already proving useful. Inside, the bank is dimly lit. It's eerily quiet at night, like most places busy in the daytime. Spooky Peter disappears into the shadows by the door. Carl and Leon make a beeline for the back. Carl hops over the counter like he's in some heist flick. Leon floats right through. You catch up to them around a corner by a heavy-looking door.
This is the vault.
What about the cameras? Dang, you're right. I got so excited I forgot. Good thing I'm wearing the ski mask. Hurry up. Every second we're in here, we risk being caught. Do the cameras really matter? It's mostly a precaution. Without eyes on us, well, Carl, they won't know how we pulled it off. And we won't be able to guard against it. You know, in case I want to do this again. Smart thinking. Carl gets to work disconnecting the cameras. He starts with the one trained on the vault door. Uh-oh. What's wrong? They have some lock on the wires. I thought it'd be as easy as unplugging it. You thought? You didn't look? Take a look during business hours? Someone would have noticed. What do we do now? This whole time, Carl is staring directly into the camera, the worried look on his face in full view. Cut the wire. I don't have a blade. I don't either. You better just smash it. Alright. Here goes. Smash. That was fun. Only 10 more to go. Seriously? Seriously. Carl darts through the building, frantically smashing every camera. You know, we should have just got him to unlock the vault first. What's going on? Why are you back here? You're supposed to watch the door. I heard a noise. Thought something might be wrong. So you left your post? Who's watching the front? Wait. Why is it so quiet? Oh geez, it's the fuzz! Lights flashing blue and red fill the bank. We took too long, but who tipped them off? Spooky Pete is not hanging around to find out. Figures. Guess we make our exit too. Right behind. Forget Carl. As you leave the bank, you see Carl in cuffs. He is raving about ghosts. The officers are laughing at him. Poor Carl. Maybe I'll visit him in prison. He'd probably appreciate that. But that's for another time. You've gotten in enough trouble today. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Audio settings. Yeah, let's have that be low. Cause see, I already turned this low. I had no idea the sound effects were that loud. I am so sorry to all of y'all. But hopefully we won't have to deal with that anymore. Alrighty, let's visit the graveyard. Alrighty, here's Spooky Peter's grave. It makes sense, because he's very, very old. Here's Kyo's. Kyo has a nice looking grave. And then Leon's is very bland. Okay. Hello again. It's nice to see you. I'll just put your name down, and you can go right in. Alrighty, last one. Room of Palms. Ooh, a candle. The Room of Palms. It looks like the basement of an old church. Faded linoleum floors, spare walls with the old religious print framed in peach-colored wood. On one side is a large open kitchen. Old refrigerators donated by the congregation hum and drip. This must be where the cabbage smell is coming from. Rows of long tables are set up for the next spaghetti supper. Oh shit, we having spaghetti? They work well enough for today's speed dating. Shit, we having spaghetti with our dates too? I'm here for that. The bell rings, and a ghost appears. Oh fuck, now I have to do another jock voice. Sup? I'm Riley. You pretty hot for a ghost. Slow down there, buddy. Hey, sorry. Just saying. Isn't it cool we stayed the age we died? Makes dying young a little better. Why are you speed dating? You're probably thinking, what's this hunk old man doing here? I feel you. Even hunks need a little help sometimes. It's been a while since I bid it. Still haven't found the one, you know. I've tried mixers, personal ads. Beefy boy seeks nice ghost for some one-on-one. Nothing doing. So I figured I'd give this a go. It seemed fun. So you're into sports. How did you know? How? I never would have guessed. Lucky guess. Haha, nice. I played football in college. Too much football, it turned out. How about you? You into sports? Not really. No, I never in a million years will I say I'm into sports. I'll level with you. Sports are a big part of who I am. I'm not like a one-note guy. I'm not just about sports, but I sure like them. Why do you like them? Like, where do I even start? It's like... Oh, thank God. The bell rings. Yeah, Soapy, that's a football in his head. Don't worry about it, though. It's fine. It's, genetic. Oh, snap. Halftime. Guess we call timeout. Let's keep this going in the second half. I can't. Stitch, no, don't take it out. That's rude. Another ghost appears. Fuck. I'm not doing the smoker voice. I refuse to do the smoker voice. I'm not doing the Pam voice. I can't. We already gave that to Gary.
Hello, sunshine.
A ghost takes a long drag of their cigarette. The smoke rises up through their hollow frame, pumping out holes in their back. Nice to meet you.
Is it? That's a surprise. Oh shit. That or the lady in smoke. That's what the ghost hunters call me.
Ghost hunters?
Living weirdos. Trying to prove we exist. Hunter sounds dramatic. Gives them too much credit. For years now, I've haunted Vegas. The glitzier condominiums. On the strip. Obnoxious houses behind gates. I wake up. Rich fools at night. Shrouded in grey smoke. Jangling pennies. Wailing, pay the price. Junk like that.
Gloom, this is a very lovely woman. Her name is Vera, and I have no idea what those are. That's pretty cool.
Thanks, hon. Spent lots of time working on it. I like it when they choke on the smoke. Choke themselves awake.
Okay, Vera, let's work on that.
Then they see me floating at the foot of the bed, looking ready for a funeral. It works. Except when the smoke alarm goes off. then it's not as scary.
You should disconnect the alarm.
Why didn't I think of that? What's a ghost like you need a place like this?
Boredom, loneliness, curiosity. Curiosity.
It's good to be curious, especially now, when you've been dead as long as I have. You start feeling like you've seen it all. Hold on to that curiosity. It'll save you.
Yeah, it'll save my life, alright. I'll try, ma'am.
Don't ban me. That makes it weird.
Okay, yeah, that does in fact make it weird. I'm sorry. The bell rings.
Guess that's the bell. We'll have to pick this up later. See ya.
Oh, very bright orange. Not a fan. Oh well. Another ghost appears. I don't know how I feel about this.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm Stephanie. But you can call me Steph. Everyone does.
hi, Steph.
Hey. Oh gosh, I'm nervous. I've never done anything like this before. I spent like an hour putting my face on this morning.
Yeah, I think that it would take a long time to put that face on. You look nice.
Thank you. That's sweet of you to say.
What brings you to speed dating?
I've been single for a while. At first it was great. I did what I wanted to. Taught myself some Japanese, played my clarinet every day without fail, allowed myself time to get to know the real me. But after a while, the silence gets to you. My cat only says so much.
I know what you mean.
I resisted trying stuff like this. Speed dating is so awkward. Like, what do you say? My name's Steph and I play the clarinet? My name's Steph and I'm teaching myself Japanese? What if you think my hobbies are bad?
That's a mountain of something. Yeah, I don't know what she's made out of.
What if you think I'm a weirdo? When you only have so much time to talk, the first thing you say makes all the difference.
First impressions are overrated.
You say that, but there's still gonna be that moment. The first time we see each other, the first time we hear each other speak, those moments set the tone. Everything else is either validating that initial impression or trying to subvert it.
Do I make a good first impression?
You're interesting, at least. In a good way. There's nothing worse than meeting someone and running out of things to say after like 10 minutes. That's why I'm here. There's no time to get bored. If you do, it's almost impressive.
Tell me about playing clarinet.
You gotta commit to it. When I first learned as a kid, we rented one, which was gross, because, well, you have this cloth, and it's like a little metal thing attached to a long string, and the cloth is on either end. When you're done playing, you take the mouthpiece off and run the little metal thing through the clarinet to pull the cloth through and despitify it.
What happens if you don't?
It's not a big deal. It'll just get gross after a while. Kinda moldy.
Y'all, if you play an instrument, please clean it. Do you miss playing?
Not really. I mean, I still practice every day.
Can dead people play the clarinet?
Of course not.
They're dead. They can't breathe, so they can't play. Why even ask that? Because you're dead. Are you threatening me? Because that is super not cool. I'm gonna tell Fran. She'll ban you. They sound like kindergartners. Teachers talk to kids. You're a ghost, Steph. Wait. What? What do you mean? Oh, and of course the bell rings now. No, wait. The bell can't be ringing yet. I don't understand. We're dead? Did I die? Am I a ghost? Oh, I feel so bad for her. The second round begins. So, I'm Riley again. So, like, what should we talk about now? Got any dating tips? Dating tips, huh? I'm only a player on the field. Offit loves no game for me. I just try to be real and ask the same of others. It's pretty simple, actually. I like you, Riley. I like you too. Oh, that was quick. The bell rings. So, like, I was thinking, it might be fun to see a game together. My old team's playing our state rivals. It's been a while since I've checked in on them. I'd like that. Oh, righteous. Just tap me after they wrap up here. I'll pick you up in my ghost car. Oh my god, a ghost Mercedes? Ghost Lamborghini. Oh, it's a ghost convertible. I can't wait. Me neither.
It's you again.
It's me again.
Glad you came back around. We only touched on my past last time. Us ghosts tend to look back a lot. Reflect. Obsess, maybe. Hard to know a ghost without knowing how she lived.
Yeah, Stitch, I'm actually really surprised. Riley isn't that bad. I try not to think about my past.
That's a shame. Maybe your past isn't great. Lord knows mine isn't. But ignoring the past doesn't mean it goes away. I've tried putting my past behind me, but the past has a way of haunting you.
What happened to you?
I made my life in Vegas. Went there when things started booming. Figured I could make some money. At first, I lost a whole bunch. Slots, they'll get you good. Then I took this job, working for a casino boss. His executive assistant. I told him when to wear a tie and cleaned his dirty laundry, if you get my meaning.
You must have made serious money.
Honestly, no. The base pay was pretty sad, but when it was good, he gave me $1,000 tips and put me up. Never had to pay a dime in rent.
What was the catch? There's always a catch.
The guy was a scumbag. A real piece of work. There was nothing he wouldn't do. Buy people out. Rob them. There were so many convenient accidents. Anything to get at the competition. I was the only one who kept his secrets. Made them go away.
Sounds dangerous.
It wasn't. Until it was. One day, in 1954, the casino rang me up. A voice, the boss's son, said they were out of clean shirts. It was maybe 6 a.m. The sun wasn't up yet. I dropped my girl off at a... Oh, she had a daughter? And rushed over to the casino.
Oh my god, she was a single mom? I can't. I feel so bad. Why did you go?
By this point, he had me trapped. I knew all his secrets, and he knew mine. If I left, who knows what he'd do? I didn't mind dying, but I had a kid to think about. The casino front doors were locked. The doors were never locked. Security let me in and led me to the blackjack tables, where my boss was waiting, dead on the floor, blood soaking into the burgundy carpet.
Hey, at least it was burgundy. At least it wasn't, like, yellow. Where was the sun?
Standing next to his pops. He smiled when he saw me. "You'll make this go away," he said. I nodded. Two guys, bigger than horses, stepped up behind me. They loaded my dead boss into the trunk of a black car. One of them drove, the other made sure to sit with me in the back seat.
Did you know these men?
No. And their tufts looked the same.
Honestly, same, Jorby. I was not expecting this to be like this. I'm enjoying it a lot.
I swear they worked a year, and then got put down, like my boss had been put down. I kept thinking about where this put me. When we got to the desert, would they bury me too? But they didn't. I watched as my boss, friend to the mayor, a builder, a legend, got what he deserved. A hole in the sand.
Your girl was at the sitter?
And she stayed there. I wasn't about to pick her up. At least, not until things cooled down.
And the sun?
By the time we got back to the strip, the casino was open, busy as ever, and the sun was out, making funeral arrangements. A heart attack. That's what they called it. Sudden. Unexpected. Tragic. Horse crap. I went home alone. Locked all the doors and windows. Turned off all the lights. And waited. Nothing happened. Until I nodded off. I woke to an intense heat. Took a deep breath. Sucking in hot.
Oh no, they burned her house alive. She was burned alive. At least the kid was at the sitter.
My lungs felt like they were burning. I couldn't see. They burned my home down. After making sure I was inside.
What about your kid?
I made sure she was taken care of. Had a bunch of money stashed away. My brother in Tulsa took her in. For a long time. I couldn't bear to see her. And by the time I was ready, I couldn't find her. I can't even tell you if she's still alive.
Oh no! Vera! Oh, you're fine, Paragray. Vera, I'm so sorry. That's so sad.
Sorry this got so grim. After all this is over, maybe we can grab a drink. And try not to let the past haunt us. Even for just an hour.
Oh, that was so sad. Oh. I'm still not over Vera. Hi, Stephanie. So, wait. We're actually totally 100% dead. Yes. As in afterlife? The afterlife? Yes. So you're a ghost. And I'm a ghost. Yes. Oh boy, do I need a drink. I hear you. I was never really a big drinker. It's funny though. I sort of feel drunk now. Or, I don't know. Dissociated. Like, the world is going on without me. It's a familiar feeling. I felt it a lot when I was alive, too. What was your life like? It was difficult. Except, not really. Mostly, life was pretty good. Good job? Honestly, I never really had a job. I didn't work during high school. And I, got sick my first year of college. Sick? This is hard to talk about. I had cancer. A brain tumor. It was bad. Diagnosed a week after my 19th birthday. Oh, fuck. I started getting headaches. And feeling confused about things. Things would just look wrong. Out of place. It's hard to describe. How long did they give you? They gave me a few months. With treatment, that turned into a year. They said it was aggressive. So they had to be aggressive. Eventually, the symptoms subsided. It seemed like they zapped it. They told me I was progression-free. Whatever that means. I was allowed to go back to school. But I didn't. I retreated to my room. After so much time facing death, I had a lot of trouble facing people. Funny, huh? Now I'm facing death and people. There's the bell. I guess it's back out into the world now. I have a lot to figure out. It was nice to meet you. Thanks for helping me talk this out. Steph leaves the room. If you hurry, you could catch up to her. See if she'd like to talk some more. Then again, a date with a ghost like Steph might not be the most exciting. She's no football hunk. Nor is she the infamous Lady in Smoke. Choose your date. Okay. We'll probably start with Steph, and then do Riley, and then do Vera. Okay. Steph. Man. All of these have just been sad. Especially in this room. Like, I don't know which one was worse, this one or the first one. The middle room wasn't too bad. With Kyo and Leon and Spooky Peter. But the first one with Hattie and... oh god, what were the other two's names? Hattie and Riley and Dre. Especially with Hattie and Gary. Man. I was not expecting this. It's been nice though. I've been liking this. I hope that you guys have been liking this as well. Alrighty. You catch up with Steph. She looks surprised to see you. You think it's hard to tell with the mask. Hey. What's up? Is everything okay? Where are you going? Home. I think. I'm not really sure. Why?
Where are you going?
The park.
That sounds nice, actually. Let's go to the park. It seems simple. I need simple.
A heavy layer of snow has claimed the trees and buried the grass nearby. A cobblestone walking trail twists around the edge of the lake. You pass an old ghost sitting on a bench, tossing nothing on the ground but still going through the motions. The ghosts of geese gather around him actually, acting out of ritual that no longer serves any purpose.
This is all still so confusing.
You must have a lot of questions.
I really, really do. Were you this lost when you died?
For a while, yes.
How did you figure things out?
I'm still figuring things out.
Dying's not a simple thing. I just feel like I spent years on a puzzle, only to realize I'm missing pieces. They're gone. I'll never finish. And now, what do I do? Do I take the puzzle apart? Be proud that I did what I could?
Does anyone finish puzzles?
No one I know.
I'm sure some people that are together. But what about the rest of us?
What now? Like, what do we even do as ghosts? Do we get jobs? What's the point of anything?
You can help people.
I guess we have powers. We can manipulate things, right?
That's up to you.
When you're little, everyone asks, what do you want to be when you grow up? Now it's like, what do you want to be when you die? It's too much pressure. I gotta learn how to walk again before I figure out where to go.
You have a lot of options.
I keep thinking about all the things I can't do now. Eat, drink. I could go for a milkshake right now. Vanilla. With a slice of apple pie. But I guess I won't taste it. There's no point in eating. So then I just want to play my clarinet. But I can't do that either.
But you can do so much more.
At least I can still do puzzles. And finish learning Japanese. I think I'm ready to take my mask off.
Are you sure?
No. But you're only a ghost once.
Oh, jeez. Is that because of the cancer? Is that because of the brain tumor? Oh, fuck. Everyone's had designs of how they died. 'Cause, like, Vera has the smoke, Riley has a football in his head, Kyo was wet. We didn't really know how Leon died. Spooky Peter, he was very ashy, so that fits with, like, the plague, with them having to burn bodies. Gary, whenever he was feeling a lot, like, had drips out of his mouth and eyes, so that kind of fits, like, gunshots. Hattie didn't really have much, because she was just, like, plumes of smoke, and we don't know how Dre died either. Oh, man, this is... Whew. This is a lot. Beautiful.
Thanks for lying to me. And thanks for the talk. It helped a lot.
We should do this again sometime.
I'd like that.
It's hard to be a ghost. But Steph seems like she'll be alright. What's next for you, though? Oof. That one was rough.
Hello again. It's nice to see you. I'll just put your name down, and you can go right in.
Alrighty, Room of Palms. You return to the Room of Palms. The speed dating rounds have wrapped up, but some ghosts are still hanging around. Choose your date. Okay, we'll go with... Okay, yeah, that is true. Stitched. Gary was very sweaty. Okay. Riley asked you to meet at Key Heights Field, his old stomping ground when he played football for Haxon Tech. You smell that? Riley pretends to breathe it in. Smells like victory out there. And weed killer. Thanks for meeting me on a Sunday. At this most holy place, my old team, the Phantoms, are playing our arch rivals, the Demons. The Phantoms need to win this game. Not for some championship, just to maintain some dignity. They've had a sucky season. A lot of sucky seasons since I died, honestly. Not that I'm full of myself. You make your way into the stadium. This is a college football game in the Midwest. The stadium is huge, something the pros would be lucky to play in. There are thousands of people here to cheer on the hometown Phantoms. Riley takes you to the sidelines. Ghosts get great seats at sporting events. If you want, you could go right on the field. Pretty neat, huh? Alright. Phantoms O, Demons O. Commentary.
Welcome to the second game in our exciting late season doubleheader. The Haxon Phantoms have had a lackluster season to say the least, only winning 2 of their last 7 games. Haxon is looking to save face against bitter rivals, Hades U, and their screaming demons.
Here we go.
The Phantoms get on the scoreboard early with a quick return and a smart pass for 6.
Touchdown! Nice. My guys don't mess around.
They kick it through the uprights for the extra point.
Yes, easy point.
After a few turnovers, the Phantoms throw a long bomb. They make a spectacular catch in the end zone. What a play!
Oh, snap. Another touchdown.
The Phantoms try for the extra point. It's good.
Nice work with the kick. There's a lot of game left. Totally. Anything can happen. And probably will. That's why I love football. Kermit is just a voice that's easy for me to go back to.
The demons are looking.
Oh fuck! I went too Kermit with it.
The demons are look.
Fuck it. Okay.
The demons are looking like a new team in the second half.
I'd like to see them try and turn it around.
They make a huge push to get within the field goal range. The kick is long, but it's good for 3.
They gotta do more than that.
Phantom ball. They go for a gutsy pass.
Interception! Oof. That wasn't a smart pass, guys.
The demons are brought down again within field goal range. After failing to get another first down, they opt to kick it through the uprights for 3.
Another field goal? Don't worry. We still got this. I'm not worried. Love the optimism. Sporty boys like encouragement. Don't even need to hear it. They can just feel it, you know?
The Phantoms are back on the offensive after a couple of turnovers at midfield. They fumble the ball. The demons pick it up and start to run. To the 50. To the 40. They break free. They're going all the way. Touchdown.
Oh no.
The Demons try for the 2-point conversion to tie it up, and it's good!
Oh no.
The Phantoms are now tied up with just a few minutes left in the game. What an exciting turn of events!
I gotta do something. I gotta help my team. They need to know they are good at sports. But it goes secretly fixing things. That'd be unsportsmanlike. Even if they don't know what's going on. Totally not my style. What if you play for the other side? Even the odds a bit. Let's do this.
The Phantoms have possession. The young team watch their lead disappear. Now they've all but lost their momentum. Everything is pointing towards their stunning defeat at home.
We'll see about that. Riley takes control of a running back. The quarterback hands the ball to Riley, who makes a break for it. He's tackled quickly.
It's 14th down. The Phantoms are just within field goal range.
Riley has to gain 3 yards or risk turning the ball over to you. Alright. I got some options here. Choose a defense based on what you expect Riley to do. Riley will try to run the ball. Riley will go for field goal. I don't know what either of these mean. This one.
The Phantoms try for the field goal.
Just like you expected.
The Demons' defense tries to break through in time, but the Phantom kicker manages to get the foot on the ball.
The kick looks a little crooked. It might make it through. Use your ghost skills to make the ball miss. Play fair and leave it be.
The ball squeaks through the uprights. Field goal! The Phantoms move ahead of the Demons with only time for a few more plays.
I saw a window. Went for the easy 3.
Demons have possession now. They make a heck of a return. In 3 short plays, they reach the Phantom 40-yard line.
Now let's see what you can do. Go for a field goal.
The Demons play it safe and try for a field goal. Field goal! It's good for 3 and they tie it up 17-17.
Smart move. You're not gonna make this easy, huh? Time to punt it back to Riley. You can kick it long, forcing Riley to gain more ground, or kick it a little shorter, giving Riley less space to run it back. Let's see how you play this one. Kick it as far as possible.
The Demons punt it the length of the field and into the arms of a Phantom All-Star, Joe Woodhouse. Woodhouse takes off with the ball, dodging everything the Demons throw at him. The 40, the 30. It's like he's possessed by some sports god. Touchdown!
Thanks for giving me room.
The teams line up. Will the Phantoms try for 2 points or kick it through for 1?
For 2.
The Phantoms try for 2 points. No good. The Demons saw that conversion attempt coming and were ready for it.
Nice work stopping me there. Here I thought I was being tricky.
The Phantoms punt the ball to the Demon 20-yard line.
Clock's ticking though.
The Demons are brought down at their own 40.
You only have a couple more plays. Aren't these the exact same thing? These sound like the exact same thing. A pass?
The Demons attempt to pass. The receiver snatches it out of the air like magic. He's a fast one. But the Phantom defense is faster. 3 Phantom players are after him. Somehow, someway, he shakes them all. Touchdown! The Demons tie the game. Both teams have used their timeouts. If the Demons kick is good, it's over, folks.
Weak. You can kick for the extra point and win the game, or try for 2, which is greedy, unnecessary, and unlikely to work. The pressure is real now, huh? Try for 2. Overtime! We're clearly evenly matched here. It all comes down to this. Let the teams decide it. Good call. We're a pretty good match. These kids can play for themselves. After the coin toss
at midfield, Phantoms take possessions. They line up at the 25. They have one shot to get a field goal or a touchdown. They go for the smart play, the field goal. It's good!
Now the Demons have a shot to tie or win.
The Demons line up at the 25. It's do or die. They go for the hands off instead of the kick. They want to end it here. It's a mess of bodies on the line. If they got it over, it's just barely. The whistle blows. The Phantoms hold them back. Phantoms win!
That's my boys. I knew they could do it. Didn't need my help at all. That was rad. Riley stands there, awkwardly, not making eye contact. Thanks for the game, or can I kiss? I'm sorry, I'm going for the can I kiss you. Absolutely. Oh, fuck yeah. He purses his lips and leans in to kiss you. You lean in too, and go right through each other. Riley looks embarrassed. That was my first time trying to kiss as a ghost. Guess I need some practice. Oh. Want to try again? Ugh. And now we're on to the last one. Vera.
Hello again. It's nice to see you. I'll just put your name down, and you can go right in.
Alrighty, Room of Palms. Return to the Room of Palms. Stone ghosts are still hanging around. Okay. Choose your date. The last one of the game. Vera. You meet Vera outside. She's smoking in the dark.
Took you long enough. Not really, though. I'm just kidding around. So what did you want to do? The world's our...
Vera stops talking. She seems distracted all of a sudden.
You hear that?
What were you gonna say?
The world's our casino. There it is again. A voice. Did you hear it this time?
I still didn't hear it.
I'm hearing a second voice. This one sounds familiar. Like the way I'd sound if someone recorded me. Me, but not me.
Where are the voices coming from?
The voices are in my head, but also far away. The voices calling out to me. It's saying, Vera, are you there? We are trying to reach Vera.
Oh my god, is it kids doing like a, oh fuck, what's it called? A Ouija board?
Trying to ask you.
Oh my god.
Excellent idea.
Hello?
Let's change the subject.
Oh my god, I can't even tell who that was until it pops up on my phone.
Mr. Rabbit? Oh, Mr. Rabbit!
Who rated me? Hello? Danny! Oh my god, hello! I was not expecting that. Hello! Hold on, let me give you a shout out. Oh my god. Welcome in, everybody. We've been going on some days with ghosts. It's been a time. Oh my god, I was not expecting this at all. How dare you? Okay, let me... Okay. Y'all, go check out Danny. What were you playing? I need to know this stuff. Let me see what you were playing. I'm gonna snoop on your page. You were playing Only Cans? Thursday? I have never... Okay, I know I've heard some bit about that game, but I have not actually... I don't know anything about it, really. Was it good? Yes, how dare you? I'm over here on dates with some lovely ghosts, which is a lot sadder than I thought that it was going to be. Oh my god. Yeah, we were actually on the date with the last ghost of the game. Um, it's been a time. Um, we've gone through. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I wanna. Let's see if I'm able to remember some of the others. Okay, so we started off with a ghost who was named Dre, and their house was bought by a rich couple after they died, and they loved to prank them. And then there was Hattie, who was an elderly woman who died. Um, and so we went on a date, and we figured out that her her husband, who was still alive, is no longer in the nursing home that she visited, and was instead taken to a hospital, even though he had a do not resuscitate. And then there was Gary, who ended up killing his business partner and was killed by the police because his business partner was doing illegal activities. There was Spooky Peter, who is a ghost from the bubonic plague, and we went haunting with him. There was Kyo, who is very, very anxious, and we just sort of vibed in the middle of nowhere with them, and it was nice, very comfy. There was Leon, who wanted to rob a bank. We got a human involved, and also had Spooky Peter. And we ended up not robbing the bank because the police showed up, and the human was taken away in cuffs. But that's a problem for not us. There was Stephanie, who was getting ready to go to college, but she was diagnosed with cancer and had a brain tumor and didn't realize that she had actually died. There was Riley, who we just finished, who was a football player who died with his college team. And now we're on to Vera, which I believe is the last ghost of the game. And she worked in a shady casino. She helped cover up the death of her boss, but was then burned alive in her house. Luckily, her daughter was able to be taken care of by her brother. But yeah. So that's how all of our dates have been. We're on our last one with Vera. But yeah, I may check out the game that you were playing later on, despite chat's reactions. Take care, Haley. Thank you for being here. what's probably going to happen is we'll finish up this last date with Vera and look over the graves of everybody. Probably do some just chatting, and then I might call it there. Because like this game's lasted for about 3 hours. So let's continue, shall we?
Dead on the 5th, November 1954. And then the other voice, the one that sounds so familiar. It says, "Where are you, Mom?"
Oh. Oh. Oh no.
Oh no. My daughter?
Well, I can't wait to see it, Danny, despite Jazz's reaction.
I'm sorry. I have to go. I have to find her.
Can I come with you?
Yeah. I think you'd better. I'm not sure what I'm hearing. It sounds like my daughter. But, well, you know what I've done. It might be nice to have some backup.
But yes, if any of the newcomers in chat are interested in watching back this VOD, I've been doing voices for each of the ghosts. I completely forgot to introduce myself. A lot of you know me, but for those who don't, I am Hart. I am a storyteller from another plane, come to help tell the stories that this world still has, and see what all new ones come out of it. I am close to reaching the affiliate status. I think there's only like a couple more check marks I need to do. So whenever that happens, I will be very excited, and I thank each of you for being here. If you guys want to stay updated with any of my posts, I don't quite have a stream schedule set out yet because of my life outside of stream, but I do always make sure to post about it on Twitter. Link for that is right below. And I also post a lot of like cute stuff on Twitter. I post a shit ton of dumb things. But yeah, I hope that you guys stay around for the stories. You follow Vera to the source of the voices in her head. A small bungalow on a quiet street on the other side of town. There's a square hedge around the front yard, and a neon sign in the window. Psychic readings. Know the future. Know yourself. Yeah, I do worry, Danny, but it's fine. Everything's fine. It'll be fine.
Let's go inside.
Inside, the house is dark, except for a dim room towards the back, lit by trembling candles. Two people are seated at a table, facing each other. One is a young woman, dressed in black with multiple piercings. She appears to be the psychic, and playing the part with witchy flair. The second woman sits across from her. Oh no! The woman is in her 70s, wearing wire-frame glasses and a long black dress. She looks like a retired librarian. I hope you enjoy your lurk drawer.
That's my daughter. Is this a seance?
They're reaching out to you.
What do I do with this?
I feel a presence. Vera's daughter opens her eyes.
Mom, are you there?
Your mother is here.
She may not be able to speak, but she is listening. Mom, I sense 2 presences. 2? Yes. One is unknown to me.
The psychic breathes in deeply.
Now you may ask your mother a question. Perhaps she will respond. Mom, it's Jane. I need to know what happened. How you really died. The police, the papers, they all said it was an accident. But I found your letters. Mom, what did they do to you?
Snoozy, hello! I feel so bad. Everyone's coming in and we're gonna be ending here soon within the next, like, 20 minutes.
I can't. I can't tell her what happened. It's too hard. Can you say something? I need her to know I'm out here. I'm just not sure I can do it.
Fucking hell. Tell Jane how her mom really died. I don't want her to live her life regretting. The psychic repeats what you say, word for word.
The letters were all true. Every word.
I'm sorry I left you. I did it so you could live. We're playing a really sad game. It's taken a lot. A lot of the stories are sad. Some of them are quirky, but a lot of them have been sad. Jane begins to cry.
You didn't leave me. They took you from me. I was only a little girl. I'm so sorry, Mom. I miss you so much.
Oh no, the hand! The hand!
I miss you too.
No. No, this one. That one was one of the hardest ones. Alrighty. Here's Stephanie with the standard wait. Here's Riley with a cross, makes sense. Here's Vera, an urn. Whose grave is this? Vera being in an urn still. What is that? Whoa, what? Wait, hold on, there's more? Hey, hi! Oh, I'm sorry. The event's all done. All the other ghosts have left. There's more? From what I hear, you were pretty popular. Still couldn't find the one, huh? Sadly no. That's okay. There are always more ghosts. People die pretty much all the time. Did you have fun at least? It was a blast. It made me sad though, but glad to hear it. I've been having fun just observing. I set this up to help other ghosts find something. Something they might be missing. Or to learn more about themselves. In a way, we are all products of death. I like to also think I am also her student. What have you learned? I've learned so much. How burial versus cremation affect the afterlife. The meaning of life. All kinds of neat ghost trivia. When I was alive, I studied people. Now that I'm dead, I study us. It's fascinating. I love trivia. I do too. Trivia's great. Let's play trivia right now. I have questions prepared and everything. Welcome to Friends, scary, hard trivia challenge. Fuck. All the questions are ghost related. Don't worry if you get any wrong. I'm not testing you or anything. Question 1. Which film star is said to haunt the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel in Los Angeles, California? Okay. Grace Kelly? Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually... Wait, what? If you visit that hotel as a ghost, you might meet her. Marilyn actually lived in the hotel. I did not know that. For about 2 years. Now she haunts it. Pretty cool, huh? Question 2. Which Shakespearean king appears as a ghost in a play that shares his name? Oh, Hamlet. You're right. It's Hamlet. Hamlet's father appears as a ghost. It's because that's how the play starts. I know that. His name was technically also Hamlet. King Hamlet. There are ghosts of kings in Richard III, but not Richard III himself. Question 3. A red blood cell has lost its hemoglobin is known as what? Phantom? It's actually ghost. The simplest answer is usually right. That's my motto. Ghost red blood cells are empty shells. They show up on microscopes, but they're pretty much see-through, just like us. Question 4. During her seances, what did medium Helen Duncan famously regurgitate and call ectoplasm? Lard, cheesecloth, baby food. I don't know, baby food? I get why you'd pick a goop, but the answer is actually what? Y'all, we're learning. Duncan was a medium in the early 1900s. She was said to fake ectoplasm by pulling gross cheesecloth out of her mouth. Duncan was also the last person imprisoned for witchcraft in the UK. Go figure. And question 5. This is the last one. That means it's also the hardest. Fucking most of them have been hard! Jesus fucking Christ! Which of these authors did not have a story in the first volume of the Fontana Ghost Book of Great Ghost Stories? What? Okay. I only know these two. I have no idea who this guy is. Fuck. What? It seems like he'd be in there. Poe was in the second volume. Blackwood and Lawrence both have stories in the first. Blackwood was a prolific ghost story writer, while Lawrence, best known for not ghost stories, penned a great one called The Rocking Horse Winner. You got one question right. You're number 1. Just kidding. That's pretty bad. Just kidding. You probably did your best. Y'all, I started out the stream calling out Connie, and now I'm getting called out for being dumb. I had fun. I'm glad to hear it. Ooh, look at the time. I need to finish closing up. If you're looking for something to do, you can always visit the graveyard. Relive some of your past dates there. Or select Erase Date Data to start over. That's in the options menu. What else? You could always go to hell. Same to you, Fran. I wish. I hear it's gorgeous this time of year. If you combine travel and accommodations, you can get a pretty good deal. My friend Gail is a travel agent. She could find you a great river cruise package. Okay, Soapy, I don't feel as bad now. I can't with this. It was so hard. I'd like that. Here's Gail's card. If you end up going, be sure to send me a hologram. Eee. Alright, time to go. I'll ring the bell to make it official. The bell rings. Thanks for playing. Wait, what about the others? Oh, is that what this is? Okay, let's do this. I'll click on this for right now. And if this does end up being another bit of a game, then this might be what we start with next stream. Oh, hey there, stranger. You look like you could use some R&R. Romance and retribution. The name's Gale. I'm a travel agent for the dead. I've got all the best deals. Singles cruises on the river Styx, cookouts on the shores of hell itself, all-inclusives at Deota Beach. You may be dead, but that doesn't mean you can't still have fun. Nice to meet you, Gale. A nice one, huh? That's unfortunate. I like the bad ones. Oink. You actually look a lot like Fran. You're right. I do look a lot like Fran. So much, it's almost suspicious. Oink. Anywho, I'm organizing a singles event. It's on Mortal Beach, overlooking balmy Brimstone Bay. There's a great view of 2 whole circles, 3 when the weather cooperates. It's going to be a party for sure. Is hell dangerous? No, hun. Hell is wonderful. You hear horror stories, I know, but this place is just hot and fun. Besides, you're dead. What have you got to be afraid of now? But hey, you didn't pick up my brochure just to hear me blab on. Unless you did. Because then, I'd totally have a timeshare to sell you. Let's get you to the beach. We'll start things off with an icebreaker, something familiar, some speed dates. Okay, yeah, we will most likely be doing this next stream. Okay, hopefully it doesn't have me immediately start. Oh, look, a little thing. For the living, the shores of hell might seem like a strange place to take a vacation. It's no Maui, or Cancun, or Bali, but hell has its charms. The sand on Mortal Beach, the water in the bay, is piping hot year-round. The air is sweltering, heavy, like a good sauna. Or an oven. In hell, there is no night or day. The crimson light of eternal flames casts a pleasant, flickering glow on everything at a comfortable distance. In a way, it's kind of romantic. The bell rings. Okay, I will actually be... Oh. Quitting means you might lose progress. Okay, quit to main menu. Okay, so... Yeah. That will most likely be the game for right now. Because that... It looks like it'll be fun. I can't wait to do some more with that. But the stream has also been going for about 3 hours and 20 minutes, and that's a long time. So, we're gonna be stopping game for right now. I would do a bit of just chatting. However, my voice hurts a lot from all of that talking. It was fun though. I hope that everybody here has had a lot of fun. But I am going to be ending now. Yeah, no, it was definitely really sad, but it was still nice. Not all stories are pleasant ones. So unfortunately, you have to get through some unpleasant ones. I am going to be rating one of my good friends because she started streaming. Let's see. Come on, pull up. Oh, she's been streaming for nearly 2 hours. Oh well. I was streaming first. I will be rating one of my very good friends, Shirale. She is currently playing DBD, which is sad. But I've always been wanting to raid her. Because she's she's a figure. But I really appreciate all of you guys for being here. This has actually been my longest stream. And so it's been a time. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for enjoying all of these stories with me. I know it wasn't a very action-packed stream, but next time we'll finish up the game, and we will also see what else is in store. But thank you guys for coming, and I really hope to see you again in the next time. Until then, please make your story a good one. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.